Hello everyone, welcome to DecodeAIM. In today's video, we are going to solve contains duplicate problem of LeetCode. The problem number is 217 and the problem statement it says that we have been given an integer array nums. We have to return true if any value appears at least twice in that array, and we have to return false if every element is distinct. And as you can see, this problem lies in the easy level scenario. So definitely it must be related to the previous problem because we are doing it after that problem to sum we have solved in previous 3 videos. So let me start with the example directly. The example says here is that 1, 2, 3 and 1. Now if I draw here the array that we have seen there, 1, 2, 2, 1 and 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 1. I'm sorry about that. 1, 2, 3, 1. Now this is our nums, an array that we got in the test case. Here the problem was saying that if you have seen a duplicate element, then you have to say true, return true. But if suppose there is an array which does not contain any duplicate element throughout that array, then you have to return false. You have to return false in that scenario. So I hope you understood the problem statement, what it is trying to say. Let us think in terms of previous problem, how it is related to the previous that is two-sum problem. So if I remind you back what two-sum problem was saying, it was saying that added two values like x and y, and if it matches the target value, then definitely you have that pair inside your array. Now what it is trying to say in contains duplicate is that it is a simpler version of two-sum. It is just saying if you find its twin, or you can say if you find its duplicate, a duplicate of a particular value, then you have to return just true, otherwise you have to return false. So if we create the brute force approach, today I am discussing the brute force approach for this problem statement. So let me rub it all, and if we focus towards the brute force approach of this problem, then I believe that you might have guessed it, like we will create a for loop. Why? We have to create a for loop to iterate over the whole array, right? Iterate over the array of length and whatever the length we have of that array. So we have to create the for loop. So the first thing was very simple, like if you have the array as 1, 2, 3 and 1, you have to iterate over the whole array. Now as we have done previously in two-sum problem also, we were creating something like a pointer to point out that particular thing in that array. And if you have seen the brute force approach of that video, we were saying that I will start from here and our j will start from 1 next to I. And why it was in given to that case to find the sum of two values, like when I will be here, it will be making the pair with 2, when I will be here, it will be making the pair with 3, and so on with 1 as well. So we have discussed it in two-sum. Now how this will be relevant in case of our contains duplicate problem, let me show you with the solution approach. But before that, I want you to think and take a pause of at least 1 minute, and then come back with working solution. Even if you do not think of it completely, you can see a working solution and visualize it in terms of two-sum problem that you solved previously. So I want you to take a pause of 1 minute here, right? And I hope you have taken your pause. Let us come with the brute force approach. So if I talk about the brute force approach for contains duplicate, it is exactly similar as compared to the two-sum problem that we solved previously. How? Let us create a for loop, and for will be for I in range, as we had created previously also, length of nums. And till now, I think that you do not need the explanation for this complete statement. What I is doing is that iterating over the whole array, and for each index we will have the value on that index, right? Now once again a for loop for j in range, and as we solved the two-sum problem, we were creating from 1 next to I and till the length of nums. Till the length of nums we will be iterating our second pointer, that is j. Now if I talk about what we are matching here, so it is very simple. We will match the values of both the indices. Like if nums of I is equal to nums of j, then my dear friend, we have to return true. Otherwise, in all the scenarios, if nothing is coming out, which means the array contains distinct elements, then we have to return at the very end as false, as the problem statement said to us. This is the exact brute force approach that you should do in terms of solving the contains duplicate problem. But there is a catch. Before understanding the catch, let us think of how it is doing in visualization manner. So we have an array as 1, 2, 3, and let us create a duplicate also. We were starting from I, that is from 0th location, then first location, then second, and then third. So I will be iterating in terms of 0, 1, 2, and 3. So when I is 0, j was pointing to 1 next, which means j initially will be 1. And as I said, if nums of, what I'm doing here is, if nums of I is equals to equals to nums of j, then we will be returning true. So if nums of I, which is nums of 0, is it equal to nums of 1? So it will give us false. So j will be iterated, j will be added to 1 next value, which is j shifts to second index, j equals to 2. Now again we will be seeing as nums of 0, is it equal to nums of 2? Now j is not pointing to here, j points to this location. Now we will see if nums of 2 containing 3, which means 1 and 3, are they equal? No. So it is again false, j will become 2, 3. Then we will see if nums of 0 is equals to nums of 3. Definitely it is equal, because 1 is equal to 1, which means we have found our duplicate value, and after these 3 iteration we will return to true. And here our problem exits. But there is a catch. What is the catch? Let us think. Suppose we have something array like this, and it keeps going, and at the very end we will have something like this. Now what will be the time complexity of this? So if you compare the both the statements, as you have seen, watched my previous videos, I will not be getting into depth of how we are calculating the time complexity. Here the for loop, this one will be running till order of n time, and as this is also just 1 next and will be iterating over the whole array, it is also similar to order of n times. You can say n minus 2 I, or simple in terms of, but if we create a whole, then it is order of n times, and these are just passes checking the value. So the exact time complexity will be order of n into order of n, which will make this to order of n square, and this is order of n square. So if I is here and j is here and you are not getting any matches until the very end, if the array contains suppose 1000 elements, 1 lakh elements, 1 million elements, then brute force approach will give you TLE. And what does TLE stands for? Time limit exceeds. And this is a very common problem in terms of brute force approach when we solve data structures and algorithm problems. So the TLE says that if you are going till here and at the very end you will see, but before that, before reaching till here, you will exceed your time to make the iterations, and that is the most important thing we have to think in terms of data structures and algorithm, which is to reduce time, as the slogan says, we have a lot of space but we have very less time. So definitely this will give us TLE, and thus this is the approach that I had to discuss it today. Let us solve the problem on LeetCode, and let me show you how it will bring us to time limit exceed. Let me switch the tab and start here. So we have the nums as the array, and we have to return the bool, that is the true or false. So let us create the for loop I in range of length of nums, and another for loop j in range of I plus 1. It will be starting from I plus 1 and will end over to length of nums. Now if my nums of I is equals to nums of j, then definitely I have to return true in that case. But if nothing matches, which means we have distinct elements, we will be returning as false. Now if I run this, I will clear all the test cases. But if I am going to submit this, because the test cases have very less number of elements in the array, you can see this contains only 8 or 9 elements, and this is only 4, this also contains only 4 elements. So the test cases which are not hidden are very containing very less number of elements in the array. But if I submit, I will get time limit exceed in the test case, hidden test case. So let us see, it is judging, and we have to wait, I think, because we have done the brute force approach, and definitely we got the time limit exceed. So 65 out of 77 test cases has passed, and the remaining 12 test cases are not passed because they have something like this. So if you see, this contains I think more than thousands of numbers. So definitely the brute force approach is literally not doing anything here. It is good in terms of arrays with less number of elements. So let us think of something in terms of the optimization. Let us come towards the optimization of this problem. And today I will be giving you the optimization which is exactly once again equivalent to the two-sum problem. But in the next video, we will come towards more optimized approach in terms of space also. So as you can see, we have watched the two-sum problem, and we came to the optimization through dictionary, right? Through dictionary. In this scenario also, we will be optimizing our problem using dictionary. Let us directly jump into the problem statement. What it was saying? It was saying that you have been given an array, and in that array you have to find the duplicate. And we were creating the two-pointer approach, brute force we were using. But if I have to use the dictionary, I will create a for loop, and it will go till length of nums. Definitely one loop is needed to iterate over the array, and there before this loop I had to create an empty dictionary. Why I'm not getting into the depth of this solution? Because it is exactly equal to the previous solution that we have done in the two sum problem. So I want you to watch that video, then come forward with this problem, because I am going in series wise approach to solve and create a vision or create a pattern into your brain that how problems can relate. All right, so we have to create the empty dictionary, and you can say dict of nouns like we did previously, and we have created the empty dictionary. Right now, in this loop, what we are going to say, we are going to say if my nums of I is in the dictionary, if my nums of I is in the dictionary. So like we did in the previous problems, it is just same. I'm not doing anything new in this video. So this is and if it is okay, then we return true. Otherwise, save that particular index with its key and value. What I'm saying is that you have a container like dictionary, and you have a key and you have a value, then 0, 1, 2 and 3, then save that value and key in the dictionary. So at 0th location you will be storing 1, at first location you will be storing 2, and at second location you will be storing 3, and at but this is not the directly you are storing them. You are storing them with this statement whenever it returns false. How we are doing like something, a dict of nouns, and it has that value and stored with that particular index. So this Python syntax, you must know what it is doing. It is just storing the value along with its syntax in the dictionary data structure. Right now we return the true, and if nothing works out, we return false. And just like the time complexity we reduced to order of n for the two-sum problem, same here, it is order of n times. As I say, the in dictionary lookups are order of 1 time, and the saving also, just in storing the values, also goes to order of 1 time. So if we see the time complexity here, then the time complexity gives us order of n time, and if we see the space complexity here, it will be returning us order of n, because we in the very worst scenario we will be storing all the values of the array. All right, so this is the optimized approach, and I were very quick in this whole video because I want you to solve it on your own, and I do not want to explain all these things, because all these things are completely equivalent and equal to that previous problem to some we have solved. But think in terms, I am giving you a hint before solving this optimized approach, and I am giving you a hint of the next video that I will be launching in this playlist, is that I will make it more optimized through how we will optimize the space. So I am giving you a hint. The hint is that why we need the keys. Why do we need the keys? We have to just check the values. Why do we need the keys? So it is your hint, and we don't even need these things. We just need the value if they are matching, and if this value matches with this, then return true, otherwise return false. So the hint is we don't need keys, or you can say in more simpler way, we don't need the indices. We don't need to store the indices. So that's all for today in this video. I will be sharing with you the optimized approach. Let us comment it out and solve. So what was optimized approach? We were creating the for loop, but before that we have to create the dictionary, dict of nums containing this, and for I in range, length of nums, and if my nums of I is equal to nums of I is in dictionary of nums, then you have to return true. Otherwise you have to save that particular value along with its index in the dictionary, otherwise you have to return false. And when we run this, we will pass the test cases. When we submit this, we will be getting the optimized solution. But okay, there is a catch in LeetCode also. If you submit it along more than one time, you will see that this is doing redundant complexity. Like you are now getting 35 and 18 milliseconds, and now you are getting to something like 44.46%. So it doesn't matter at all. What matters is that it is the optimized approach, and the time complexity was order of n, and the space complexity was order of n for this problem. What the name of the problem was? Contains duplicate. So my dear friends, this was today's video, and in the next video I will be coming up with more optimized solution of this problem, and then we will be heading towards our next problem. So till then, keep watching, subscribe, like and comment down your any query if you have, and definitely we will be completing our 150 days DSA problem. Till then, keep watching. Signing off, Decoding.